What's up guys, I'm Cory and today we're reviewing Uncut Gems. Honestly, this is one of my new favorite films and I am sorely disappointed in the Academy. What are you doing snubbing this film? This is honestly possibly the best film of the year, if not one of my favorites among all of the other Oscar and Golden Globe worthy films. So let's go ahead and break it down for you now and attack the review.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? Hey, Howard.
What's Pesach out?
All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
I made a crazy risk, a gamble, and it's about to pay off.
So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds.
What do you know?
I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
A charismatic jeweler makes a high-stakes bet that could lead to the windfall of a lifetime. In a precarious high-wire act, he must balance business, family, and adversaries on all sides in pursuit of the ultimate win.
Taking my money all over town, placing bets.
The film was directed by Josh and Benny Safdie and stars Adam Sandler, Idina Menzel, Kevin Garnett, and Lakeith Stanfield, just to name a few.
Money right now.
Howard, got my money? Howard!
Is it too late?
I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
So going into this film, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I mean, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan, but he is primarily a comedy actor, and of course his comedies have gone a little bit more downhill over the time, but there's definitely some, hits or misses. I think there's still some that were, good in the last few years, and some that obviously are a little bit worse. And sometimes I think, he's just playing around, having to make content to, get some contracts and get some stuff going, but that's who he is. He's Adam Sandler, he's a movie guy, and now that he's actually putting himself out into roles like this, it's a force to be reckoned with, because Adam Sandler is somebody that's been in the game for a long time. He knows a lot of people and he's picked up a lot of tips and he's seen how the game works. So if anybody's going to start to take this turn in their career, Adam Sandler's the guy. And I got to tell you, the Safdie Brothers did not let anything lay on the table here with this film. They put every piece of relentless, anxiety-filled action right into every frame, because there's just not a dull moment in this film. There's not too many moments where you think, man, I wish they could speed this up, or I wish they could, make this a little more interesting. Every aspect is really good. Everything makes you feel like you're seeing it for the first time, even though it's been played out in films before, and you're feeling like the story isn't convoluted with a bunch of stuff that's happened and they're just trying to change one or two aspects to make it new. This is a film you've never seen, like you've never seen, and you will feel that while you sit there and you watch this movie from start to finish. It honestly is a joyride. So
And it's about to pay off.
So for the acting, I gotta give the acting an A+, because this film took so many different people to a whole new level that you never really thought you could. And I think that's kind of the magic of this film. You have so many actors out of their element, people that have never even been in huge movies before, or, professional athletes. And that's always a gamble, because you don't know what you're gonna get. And the time you have to spend with some of these people sometimes, especially if you have a look or you're trying to typecast away, it's just not always the easiest process. But they pulled this off like it was seamless from start to finish. You would never notice some of these aspects, and they wheel it into the real time, because Kevin Garnett, for example, was really playing for the Celtics in the playoffs at the time, and they really kind of weave things into the story to make it real, make you feel like it happened. And I gotta say, the acting just really showcased that. It really made you feel like all of this happened. You were watching it as it happened in real life, and you're getting a front row seat to these people's lives, and it's intense. It's really intense, and not a moment of this film do you think, these people aren't portraying that. No, they are 100% giving their all to these characters from start to finish, and it is just a breath of fresh air for a film. So, gotta give the acting an A.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
So for the cinematography, I gotta give the cinematography an A. They did a lot of really cool things with the camera work here. A lot of things that didn't take away from the film, but made every scene unique for those reasons. A lot of the different ways that they filmed, or a lot of the different places that they filmed, were really tight and compressive places that are small, and they give you a lot of sound and a lot of noise and a lot of people. And for the cinematography to be as flawless as it is for all those factors in these small rooms, a lot of glass, a lot of things that could be tough to get around, they just execute perfectly. And there's some really cool moments, like say at the beginning of the film. This isn't really a spoiler because it's kind of the introduction, but when they like zoom into, you know, the jewel that eventually is going to be in Adam Sandler's hands, you see it for the first time, and they kind of zoom into the colors, and it, you know, eventually portrays back out into a colonoscopy. So those are those moments where you're thinking, this is kind of different, this is kind of unique, and it's not always going to be groundbreaking, but it'll be something that definitely catches your attention. You might even chuckle a little bit, because it's definitely moments that, you know, kind of gear in with that. They kind of take you to a moment where you kind of zone into it, and then they'll play with you with the camera. So I think things like that are really cool that this film does. Not to mention, of course, the acting really breaking through with a lot of the camera work. So yeah, I gotta give it an A, and that's exactly what it deserves.
I heard you resurface your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel?
Never
You think your life is more important than
I
my
don't
life?
know who said that.
So overall, I gotta give this film the coveted 5 out of 5 stars because it is one of the best films I've seen this year, if not in the last few years. It's definitely my favorite Adam Sandler film, probably ever now, because it's kind of the best of everything he has to offer. It's him, it's his quirkiness, it's his insanity, it's his chaos, and all of it. And he's still, you know, cracking jokes, and he's still being himself, but also within this character that has so much on the line, and you just constantly feel for him. You feel like he's, you know, joking with himself so that he doesn't drive his own self insane, you know, and it's kind of like he's got all these people he messes with, all these people you can't tell if he's really connected to or if he's just using them, and just so many things that were unanswered just leave you on the edge of your seat. It's a great movie. Just go see this film, talk about it. Adam Sandler needs to get an Oscar, especially after the Golden Globe snubs. I'm still pissed about that. What are you doing? Who are you people? Like, God. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of your nominations are good, but what? This was the best film. Anyways, yeah, Uncut Gems, 5 out of 5. Go see it now. Adam Sandler in his prime right now. Go check it out.
This is me. This is how I win.
Well guys, that's all the time we have today for this review of Uncut Gems. If you've seen the film, let us know what you thought about it down here in the comments. As always, hit subscribe over here on this side, and we'll see you next time on Midnight Media TV.